about the scrum interpretation, which cost them a couple of decisions so far.
Well, it is what we expected. Wales to absorb the hammering from the Canadians in the opening phase of this match and then hit back, and that's what they've done. 3 more points on the board from the boot of Iestyn Harris, and Wales extend their lead now 10 points to 3.
Well, the last 5-7 minutes has all been Wales, which is tremendous for them, the way they've fought back into this game, and they can now really approach it with confidence.
Taken by Cobain. Most of the Canadian pack looked to be in front of the kicker there, but the referee didn't spot it. Morgan Williams underneath that ball, and here's Pritchard. That's, well, not such a good kick from Pritchard. Oh, it's bouncing nicely for Canada though, and Wales have to work hard enough to clear their lines. Another bad clearing kick though, from inside his own 22, Gareth Cooper. Morgan Williams. Winston Stanley. Tackle coming in from Duncan Jones, the blonde-haired Welsh prop forward. Gareth Thomas seemed to be taken out of it there, but knocked on, no advantage.
Wasn't the greatest passage of play, and I think Kevin Morgan, the Welsh fullback, I think he's carrying a bit of an injury. He got some treatment earlier on, but he's looking very hesitant to me at the back, and he's just got to control that. He's got to be a man that the forwards look back to and get confidence from.
Brent Cobain is the man who's injured. His nickname is Disaster because he has a habit of injuring his own players in training. Born in Coffs Harbour and qualifies for Wales under the residency rule. His brother has 60 caps for Australia. Brent Cobain, the Celtic warrior. And remember, much more World Cup rugby coming up on ITV later on today. At 11 o'clock, Scotland against Japan from hot and steamy Townsville. And then at 1 o'clock, England get their World Cup campaign, the favourites, underway against Georgia in Perth. And all the details on the website, itv.com/RWC. But here at Melbourne, the Telstra Dome, it's Wales against Canada, and Wales leading by 10 points to 3. Sonny Parker scoring the only try of the match so far, and Wales have definitely settled down in the last 10 minutes.
Yes, they most certainly have. They'll be very happy with that. If they can get their runners going at the Canadian midfield, and their first up tackling all round, I think, looks shaky for Canada. And with the extra pace they've got in the back line, hopefully they can get a couple of more tries before half-time.
Robin McBride, Cobain. McBride drives hard. That's the Canadian 22.
There's no more for. And hold, engage.
Slip on the front row this time, so we'll have that scrum reset once more. Morgan Williams, who scored 3 tries in the last World Cup, Canada's top scorer in that event. That's Josh Jackson. No scrum half, so Winston Stanley has to go in, gets the ball back to Bob Ross. Wasn't a great pass, he was put under pressure by Martin Williams, and that forces Bob Ross to miss touch. Here's Thomas, Cobain, good support by Cobain, the ball given away though by Kevin Morgan. Here come Canada, that's Mike James, number 5, plays his rugby in France and sets the ball well for Morgan Williams. Now it's the rumbustious figure of Al Sharon, the 37-year-old, playing in his 4th World Cup, but no real progress now for Wales, or for Canada. Desirolamo, that kick designed to be kept in play, the ball to be kept in play, picked up by Jones, and Jones has got away from Desirolamo, and Wales develop from here. Iestyn Harris, probing kick forward. That's Pritchard. much more of the play now in Canadian territory. Morgan underneath it. Wales prepared to run. Gareth Llewellyn throws the long pass to Gareth Thomas. Robin McBride is in support, and it's a knock forward though by the loosehead prop Duncan Jones. Advantage to Canada. Advantage is played. Bob Ross, little bit of space deep. It wasn't a great kick though by Bob Ross. He sliced it. Kevin Morgan. Williams, Pritchard takes on Kevin Morgan. A lot of kicking going on there at the moment, and neither side gaining much ground. That was Rod Snow off the chest, says referee Chris White, so it's no knock forward. Rod Snow fancies a try from 80 metres, doesn't quite get there, and Canada not staying on their feet, driving over the top and giving away the penalty.
Yes, Mark Lawson, the hooker, went straight in on Snow. There's the culprit. Snow was never going to enter into the kicking game that preceded him picking up that ball in his own 22, and the referee said it was off his chest, but doesn't look to use his trusty left foot or his right foot, and gets stopped pretty well. Drops the ball at the same time. Penalty. Yeston Harris struck the first couple well.
Scored 31 points in his debut for Cardiff, I remember, against Glasgow in the Heineken Cup. What a game he had that day. He looked like a real world beater and the Welsh saviour. And again, he has struck the ball well and extends the Welsh lead here to 13 points to 3 as we approach the half-hour mark here in Melbourne. This spiritual home of Australian sport, where they hold the World Superbike Championship round at Phillip Island, the MotoGP round, Valentino Rossi et al. Coming up next weekend. It's where Valentino Rossi won his first World 500cc title. And this is Williams. Support from Cobain, who's had a pretty sprightly start to this match in the first 30 minutes. Much better from Wales. Thomas dummying the kick and gets support from Llewellyn. Cooper to Sweeney. Yeston Harris running straight, running hard and with pace. It's good work from Yeston Harris, and now it's Kevin Morgan. He's got support both sides. It's Kerry Sweeney. Kerry Sweeney is 2 metres short, picked up by Williams. It's advantage to Canada, a knock forward, and Wales so close yet again. And definitely Harris had the options all round him, and he is playing well.
Super play by Wales and great play by Yeston Harris, because as he got through the gap he immediately looked for support, and it's just a great pity that when Sweeney went to ground there they couldn't finish the move off. Let's have a listen in here. I didn't see the flag being put out by Andre Watson.
Yes, Andre Watson, who refereed the World Cup final in 1999. Chris White,
Yes.
who has refereed here before when France played Australia a couple of years ago. But look at this, beautiful, the straightness of the running from Yeston Harris there, and also from Kevin Morgan straightening things up too.
Great pass with his left hand, and this is where you've got to stay composed, keep cool, keep calm, and he just knocked it forward as he came in. And don't they just know it?
There's been a lot of head and hands amongst Welsh rugby supporters in recent seasons. But you know, we talk about lines of running, and that was a perfect example of it there from the two Welsh backs, Yeston Harris and Kevin Morgan, and splitting this Canadian defence apart. And as you say, they are now beginning to look suspect there. And of course, they do have a lack of pace, Canada, not just in attack, but also you're going to lack pace in defence too. And Wales seem to have them in that area as Canada bring on a replacement.
Okay.
It's Garth Cook for John Teal.
Stay there, not yet, not yet. Number 9, stay back.
Ross.
Well, he got it away.
Let's go!
But that Canadian scrum is looking decidedly shaky now. The last couple they've been certainly creaking at least, and they managed to get that one away, but I think Wales have got the upper hand in that department, and this is a great opportunity for them now. Kept them down here, put the pressure on.
McBride to the tail, to Jones. Again, it's not really a conclusive line-out. It's Cobain who has to tidy things up. Not a good pass either, but it might yet work out for Wales as Mark Jones comes in off his wing. Here's Cooper. Sweeney looking for Morgan. Gareth Thomas, he's strong. Lots of support there and lots of defence too. And it's well presented. And it's Cooper who goes in. Another try for Wales. It's scored by the scrum half, Gareth Cooper. Some super work again by the Welsh in the build-up, and a well-deserved try.
Well, Gareth Cooper got it, but Gareth Thomas made it. A couple of Canadians have a go, third one has a go. Presents it well, quick ball. That's the difference, quick ball. And Cooper says to the captain, get out of my way. This is my first try for the World Cup. Good hands, nice little pop there. But Thomas does well. The cover gets brushed aside. 2 or 3 of them are attracted into that tackle situation. And busy man that Cooper is, gets over.
And in terms of strength, Gareth Thomas is the Wendell sailor of this Welsh side. Gareth Cooper made such a big impression when he played at Bath. He kept some pretty handy customers out of the side. Andy Nicol and John Preston, who played for New Zealand. And once more, Iestyn Harris. It's metronomic. It's a bit like watching Neil Jenkins out here, the way he's kicking the ball. The rebirth of the Ginger Monster. Maybe not quite, but Wales stretching that lead now and beginning to look comfortable.
Well, they're taking control of the set pieces, and Canada are missing their first up tackles and putting pressure on the halfbacks, and Ross's kicking game can therefore not flourish.
Again, the Canadians miles offside from the restart. The Wales have possession. Sweeney putting pressure on there was Van Staveren, the wing forward. Pritchard once more close to the roof. Morgan Williams follows up. In goes Hughes. Welsh ball though, and it's Kevin Morgan who gets the ball wide, and Wales attempting to break inside their 22. Iestyn Harris didn't he offload that ball magnificently well there to David Jones. Now it's Robin McBride to Jarvis. Big tackle coming in from Lawson, dislodging the ball, and Sharon gets it to Bob Ross. Back goes Williams.
Well, thankfully Martin Williams was covering, because once again Kevin Morgan's gone down, and he doesn't look right to me, but he's just said to the Welsh trainer physio, I'm okay. But this is the little chip down the blind side, and there's good old Martin Williams open side covering back, and thankfully he was. But Wales don't want these errors creeping in again when they've got or taking ball into contact.
Iestyn Harris though is having a quite magnificent game for Wales, with the boot and with the ball in hand. Cobain.
Go in 15.
Mike James penalised there. And a penalty to Wales.
Here's the penalty Chris White gave against Mike James, and there's Cobain. Well, it's all right when you've got a bit of control, and Europe doesn't like it. But I don't think Canada can change their game plan. You know, they're going to have to play catch-up rugby at some stage, but I just don't think they've got the penetration and the skill level and the pace in the back line to do that. So Wales looking pretty comfortable at this stage.
Gareth Cooper. Oh, well picked up by Jones. That came off the knee, I think, of Colin Jarvis, so it won't be a knock forward. Morgan Williams is back. Now, Canada can actually break from here. They've got numbers outside. Di Girolamo, he knocks forward though. Scrummage to Wales. Enterprising play, though, from Canada and from Marco Di Girolamo, an exceptional sevens player, played in the Commonwealth Games in Manchester for Canada. But Pritchard looks like he's got a bit of gas.